What's up, everyone? We're out here in Sedona at the Mountain Bike Festival here, 2020. It's beautiful weather, fantastic day for riding. And I was just on the trail on the Spot Ryve. It's a 115 millimeter travel. It's like an XC Plus bike, you know, what people are calling downcountry, but we hate that term, so we don't use it at Bike Mag. I have to say, like, I'm really digging this category. I'm loving the, you know, quick handling, steeper head angles. It really mixes well with modern geometry. So like as the reaches are getting longer and stuff, and some bikes are just getting kind of out of hand, I'm loving like this new style of bike that's, it's just an extra capable, a little bit more fun XC whip, but it feels fast enough to still race on, you know, like this is what you would kind of put into that marathon category, right? And I think that Spot's Living Link suspension works really darn well on this platform. It's super precise. They've made the suspension curve more progressive on this bike too, which is really good because it gives you what feels like a lot of usable travel. I mean, obviously it still feels like a short travel bike, but like you can ride this bike just as hard as you want. It's how hard you can ride it is almost more determined by what tires you put on the thing than like the actual geometry of the bike, because it's long enough with like on the size large, a 470 reach. It's long enough to feel nice and stable. It puts your body in a really good position. It doesn't have an extremely steep seat angle, but I don't actually think that bikes with this short travel need like 76, 77 degree seat angles. This one is a 75, which I think is plenty. The other thing about the Ryve is it actually keeps a pretty short rear center, which is nice. Like 435 mil stays makes it so you can really just pop anywhere you want. Like it's actually a really easy, fun bike to manual. Basically the Living Link thing is a carbon leaf spring, and it's a spring, so it holds energy, right? So like when you compress it, it's holding energy and then it releases it back. So it actually kind of like helps the shock in its rebound stroke. And I actually happen to think that there's a lot of shocks that don't get fast enough, and this is great because it actually gives you an extra pop. Like when you preload it into corners and things, it gives you this really cool boost out of it that just feels fast. This is a bike that really motivated me to like pick the harder, sketchier climbs, you know, like there'd be an easy line up and then like a ledgier climb, and I'd always want to aim for the ledgier one just to see what the bike could do, you know. Like it's just one of those bikes where you're not just like, oh crap, another climb. You actually, it motivates you, like it gives you a reward for like putting that effort into the pedals. I actually think this is a really perfect bike for Sedona. The trails here are really flowy and there's these punchy climbs, and so you have to get ready for them. And when you have too much travel, it all just seems to get in the way. And there's plenty of technical, gnarly riding here, but I find that short travel bikes here are perfect, and the Ryve is lively and fun and just flickable and comfortable, and it's just all those good words. I really like this bike. There's a couple cool frame details on this bike. I personally don't tend to really like it when people route their brake lines externally because, you know, you set it up once and then it's done. Bleeding brakes is not hard. It doesn't take a long time. You don't need specialized equipment, but Spot has decided that they want to run their brakes external, and what they've done is they've made like a really cool little groove in the down tube so that the hydraulic line fits right in there nicely. The hydraulic line almost makes the corner of the top tube, and if you're going to do it, I think that's a really great way of doing it. They've made it as clean as possible while keeping that convenience factor, which I know there are definitely some people out there that are going to appreciate that. Another frame detail that stands out is where the lower shock mount is. Instead of making like a trough in the carbon, it's actually a hole. And so you don't get sediment and like trail scum, whatever your bike is picking up, set into that trough and like messing with the bushing of the shock or whatever, like, or just getting stuck in there. You don't have to clean it. And it's actually a hole that all that junk can fall through. So it should keep the shock actually cleaner in that way. It actually kind of looks cool too. I do think that Spot has done a really nice job with this. They've paid attention to a lot of details, and it's clear that a lot of thought has gone into it. And yeah, I think they've done a really great job with this build.